There was a boy who learned very early how to say no. Not loudly, not angrily, just softly enough that no one felt offended, and just firmly enough that no one asked again. He lived in a small place where people knew one another's names, where afternoons belonged to children, and evenings carried voices through open windows. Laughter traveled easily there. The boy heard it every day. He just never followed it. When children ran past him, their feet kicking dust into the air, they waved. Sometimes they stopped. "Do you want to play?" The boy would look up, consider the question, and shake his head. No. Always the same word, always the same tone. Calm. Controlled. As if the answer cost him nothing. But after they ran off, he stayed exactly where he was. Watching. Listening. Letting the sounds fade. He told himself he preferred it that way. At home, his family noticed. They noticed how he lingered near doorways, how he listened before entering rooms, how he stayed behind even when invited. They didn't force him. They asked gently, "Come eat with us. Come sit outside. Just for a little while." The boy smiled politely. "I'm fine." And he meant it, or at least he wanted to. He stayed behind as chairs scraped the floor, as doors closed softly, as voices grew distant, the quiet wrapped around him. He told himself it was peace. The boy wasn't cruel. He helped when no one was watching, returned lost things without expecting thanks, fixed broken objects carefully, patiently, but he never stayed. Never lingered long enough to be known. If kindness lasted too long, he stepped away. If attention settled on him, he shifted out of reach. People began to describe him difficult, rude, cold. The boy heard those words. He didn't argue. They were easier to carry than hope. Hope was dangerous. Hope whispered questions. What if they want to? What if they leave anyway? And the boy had learned, leaving hurts less when you choose it first. One afternoon, a younger child approached him. The child held a toy. Wooden, cracked, carefully loved. "Can you fix this?" the child asked. The boy nodded. He worked slowly, carefully. When he handed it back, the toy was whole again. The child smiled. "Do you want to play now?" The boy hesitated. Just for a moment. His hands stopped moving. Something inside him shifted. Then his mouth answered first. "No." The child didn't argue. He ran back to the others. The boy stayed behind. Long after the game ended, that night, the boy lay awake, not thinking about the toy, thinking about the pause, the space where yes almost existed. Years passed. Games changed. Children grew older. Invitations came less often, not because the boy was forgotten, but because he was understood. People learned not to ask questions they already knew the answer to. At home, his family changed too. They stopped asking twice, stopped waiting by the door, stopped leaving space in case he changed his mind. They still loved him, But love learned how to step back. The boy told himself this was freedom, no expectations, no disappointment, just quiet. One evening, his family prepared to leave for a small gathering. Nothing important, just food, just company. They asked him once. He said no. The door closed. The house went silent. The boy sat where he always did. And for the first time, the quiet felt heavy. The next day, he passed the old field again. Children were playing. Different children now. New laughter. New rules. He stopped at the edge. Someone glanced at him, then looked away. The game continued. No one said his name. Something tightened in his chest. Not anger, not sadness, recognitions. Time continued. The boy grew older, quieter, more careful. He learned routines that didn't require people. He became reliable, independent, untouched. One night, he overheard laughter inside his home. Family voices overlapping, stories being shared. He stood in the hallway, close enough to hear everything, far enough to pretend he wasn't listening. He waited. No one came for him for the first time. The boy understood something clearly. Every no he had spoken had not disappeared. They had accumulated. They had taught the world how to move around him. The realization didn't break him. It settled. The next morning, he tried something small. He stayed closer when people gathered. Didn't turn away immediately. Didn't leave right away, but no one noticed. Not because they didn't care, because they had already learned. It is strange how quickly the world adapts to rejection, and how slowly it relearns openness. One afternoon, an elderly neighbor struggled with a heavy basket. The boy helped. They walked together for a short while. The neighbor thanked him, then left. No invitation followed. That night, the boy stood by the door again, longer than usual. His family passed him, paused, then continued. They didn't see hesitation. They saw consistency. Something shifted. Not anger, not blame. Understanding. The boy realized people don't stop inviting you because they stop caring. They stop because they learn how not to hurt you. Days passed, then weeks. The boy practiced saying yes in his head. How it would sound. How it would feel. The word felt heavy, but real. One evening, during a small family gathering, the boy did something new. He stood in the doorway and spoke first. "Can I sit with you?" The room went quiet. Not uncomfortable, just surprised. A chair moved. Space was made. The boy sat. No one commented. No one celebrated. They simply continued. It wasn't perfect. Conversation didn't slow for him, but he stayed. And that mattered. From then on, change came slowly, painfully. Not every door reopened. Not every person returned, but some did. Weeks later, a child approached him. Not the same one from before. A different one. "Do you want to come?" the child asked. The boy paused, then yes. It felt unfamiliar, heavy, real. That night, the boy lay awake, not replaying regret, but something new. Possibility. He learned the quiet truth no one teaches children. That pride doesn't always sound loud. Sometimes it sounds like, "I'm fine. I don't need that. I'd rather stay here." And sometimes, the bravest thing a person can do is not saying yes, but admitting they wanted to be asked. Subscribe to Once Upon a Shadow, where fairy tales go dark.